Hello, welcome back. I'm Claire. This is Purple Poppy, and today I'm back in my 50 stack challenge by Crafty Cat USA, and we are on prompts 15 and 16, and that is for Wreath and Gold. So last week I used this CD case to make splattered and stamped, and I did both on the one page. I'm going to do 15 on here because that's a blank, and then if I do 16 on here, then I can start doing the 2 weeks facing each other. That's my plan. So Wreath, well, I thought because this is not a Christmas book, I would do a Wildflower wreath. So what I've basically done is hours and hours of die cutting. These are the Tim Holtz Wildflower and some other Sizzix. And basically what I did was I took some thin card. I used my various inks and water and just dipped the cards in to get coloured card. And then I've spent, as I say, quite some time doing my die cutting so that I've got the pinky and the sort of, I don't know, creamy colour, and then I've got yellow, lavender, and obviously lots of green. And I took some brown packaging paper. I used this big lid and then the inside of the tape just to give me the wreath outline, I suppose. So we're going to do lots and lots of sticking. So I'm just going to cut out my wreath base. I'm not too worried if I don't get perfect circle here because it's going to be covered up anyway. So first video of the week. I always think fresh new week, new opportunities, new things going on, and yet as I film this it's pouring down. It's the most glum and miserable day ever. It's really horrible. It's like deep midwinter. It's not nice. So I'm just going a little bit careful because as much as I don't need it to be spot on, I do need a circle rather than a square, if you know what I mean. And then we're going to set about making this wreath, and I'm going to have to get my book in a couple of times probably just to double check that I'm not overstretching the page. When I saw Crafty Cat's video and she made the announcement of what these prompts were, I was a little bit like, oh, I don't want to do a Christmas wreath. I'm not doing a Christmas book. And so I jumped onto Pinterest and just typed in the word wreath, and obviously there you go. So I've got my wreath base. Now of course if you work in Wildflowers, that would be sort of what we use this Amazon packaging as a base because I've been cleaning my messy mats. Right, so sorry, what was I saying? Yeah, so I jumped onto Pinterest and I did get Christmas wreaths come up, obviously. Let's get rid of that because it's a raised area. There we go. But then I very quickly started seeing all kinds of wreaths. Now these green ones I did die cut double, so there is 2 for every one of these. So I'm going to need to separate them because obviously the greenery we need more of than anything else. So first things first, let's find the page and let's work out how much space we've got. So if that's going to sit in the middle there, I can go that far there and that far there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear that off there. Now we're probably going to have a nightmare glue time. I should have thought to fill my glue bottles up, shouldn't I? Because this is just going to be so annoying. I don't know what it is about people around here, but they don't seem to be able to shut a door without slamming it. Right, I think I'm going to have to stop the video and fill my glue bottles up because this is going to be ridiculous, isn't it? So I will see you in a second with some glue. Okay, we've got a bottle that's got glue in, so that's a good start. Right, so if that's going there, I'm just going to pop that on that side there, and then I'm going to get a different leaf, maybe this one. Again, I'm going to need my pokey tool because all the greens are double. And I'm going to separate these up again, and then this one is going to go there, so a little bit of glue there, turn it round Claire, because there's my hinge, so we can't go past that point. Going to be a little bit fiddly, so it might actually for you guys be a bit of a frustrating video. Okay. And then get another, get the yellow ones out of the way, another different one, and again split this up. Once I've got my like north, south, east and west as it were, then I'll be able to close the book up and just get on with what I'm doing. So, see, that's going to go there. So, a little bit there. And then that there. Trim it off there, because obviously we do want an opening in the middle, don't we? And then let's use this one, which is different again. So I've basically got 4 very different types of greenery. I don't think, to be honest, it's going to take as long as you initially think. Although if I can't get these things apart, it could take forever, couldn't it? I was watching Witchcraft Do You Do earlier. She couldn't get the backing off of her double-sided tape, and in the editing she'd put up one of those, like, you know when they used to do silent movies and they did the like little boards with the wording on so that you could understand what was going on. Well, she'd put one of them up and saying 5 hours later because she couldn't quite get the backing off. Right, where's that one gone? Here. Okay, and then if I do this one coming down from the bottom there, that gives me my perimeter. Well, it would have done if it had stuck. That gives me my perimeter lines. Okay, so we'll stand our book up out of the way. Stand up, Mr. Book. Right, there you go. So here is my wreath. So obviously we don't want stalks like that, so we can trim that off. That one's fine and that one's fine. And then I just want to keep going round and building it up and building it up until we've got loads of greenery, and then we can put on our flowers. And I tried to go for muted colours, so that, you know, it had that much more sort of wildflower look, because apart from the obvious poppy, I don't think there's many wildflowers that are really brightly coloured. So again, I'm going to like just break it off where there's a stalk, because we don't want stalk, and I'm just going to keep layering it up and layering it up, but with that sort of circular, we hope, shape going on. That's the plan. So it's going to be a bit like a jigsaw with no finished picture. Can you imagine opening a jigsaw and realising that you haven't got, you know, that picture image? You don't know what it's supposed to look like. Just that, well, you haven't got it. So apart from those straight edged pieces that always go on the corners or around the edges, you've got really no clue what you're doing. Well, that's sort of where we're at. We've got flowers and we've got greenery, but how it's all gonna group together, nobody really knows. But also I'm conscious that by having them stuck down just at certain points, it's all going to have an element of movement to it. Well, that's my plan anyway. We'll see how we get on. And then when we come back to things like this, I'm just going to trim off the stalk, pretending I'm a florist and I know what I'm doing. And just keep adding on these extra bits. Okay. So we can tuck that right down in there. See, and this is the beauty of it only being stuck in certain places. We've got that sort of natural movement going on here. Oh, and I've got my sewing cottons on the edge here because, as always, I'm doing like 3 projects at once, and now I've got a needle and thread caught up in it all. For goodness sake, Claire, really need a bigger desk. Now this one, I feel like I'm going to probably what am I probably going to do? Break it down into a number of pieces, because right now we can't go past that one there, can we? So that's what we've got to look at. So a little bit of glue there, and I'm trying to keep that sort of circle shape going on. Again, take off this extra. Now, am I even on camera? That's something else I should be looking at, I suppose. Not really. Is that better? I've just realised that's better, Claire. That's better. I've just realised that I'm like hanging off the table. That's no good, is it? So yeah, as I say, obviously if you were doing this in like real life, as it were, you would be poking these into a wire. I don't know if you've ever made a wreath, have you? I've never made a real one. I made fabric ones, and apparently today I'm making a paper one. See, and then we can go like that, so we could break that bit off. I like this one. This is not actually a Tim Holtz one, this is a Sizzix. I mean, I know Sizzix make the Tim Holtz ones, but get up, go down, that's it. Right, now this one, I'm thinking maybe we can start coming down into the middle, because we want some going that way as well, don't we? So get that one going there, and then maybe I'll just take one of these and put like some, oops, sticking to my sleeve. They're all going to end up on the floor. That's no good, is it? Now, how is it looking? Oops. Yeah, I think it's looking quite interesting. I feel like we're bald down the bottom here. I keep saying down the bottom. I don't even know if you can see. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move all of these, because you don't need to be looking at them, do you? And then I can move that up here. Now you watch me tip them all on the floor. Right. I feel like that can now come sort of down there. So get a bit of glue in there. We'll have a bit more of this. Perhaps we'll have another 2 this time. Get a bit of glue there and bring it around that way. Okay. I'm just looking at the pile next to me that I moved so that you could see. I feel like maybe we need some more sort of in the centre there. Can we get it there? Yes. So a little bit of glue under there, and then just poking it underneath and over to get, you know, different shapes. Now I need some more over here, don't I? Oh, it's a bit white. That obviously didn't get a lot of colour on that bit of paper. Oh, we've got here this one. So let's separate this. And then I can maybe, oh yeah, so if I just tear that off there and put glue on that bottom bit there, and then we can just stick that up there as well. Oh, that's lovely. I like it. Right, let's double check our page, because we do not want our wreath to not fit on our page. We can definitely spin it round. I might have to take a couple off. So like there, I'm going to break that one off. I think that's going to be okay. Yeah, a little bit more greenery over that side, but yeah, I think we're going to be all right size-wise. That's good. Oh. So, maybe put another one of these up. Get off me. Yeah. So we get another one of those up there. And stick to me. Right, now I feel like I want some of those little spiky ones just coming into the middle. So I'm going to have one there. Like so. Right, now let's have a look at these flowers. So, I've got these lovely light dandelion ones in this yellow. Poke these extra bits out. Now, we're not really going to want any of these stalks, I wouldn't have thought. So, I'm basically going to pull the stalks off. Oh, there's a little tiny bit there. There we go. And glue that middle bit because that's the big bit. And we're going to pop him there like that. And then maybe one of these. Now, I'm no botanist, I don't know what these plants are or are supposed to be, but that's gorgeous, isn't it? So pull that one out, some glue on there, and build him up. And again, I'm only sticking certain areas. And then we got this one. This is on the Tim Holtz milled lavender. So of course it's come out almost white, but that's fine. Put that on there. Right, what about some of these like daisy ones? Oh, it's all cool, of course. That's the trouble when you've got loads of die cuts together. Right, knock these out. I think I'm going to have a little bit of stalk on this one. Go away, mister. And we're going to poke him sort of underneath there. So get that centre again. Get that one. And then I want some of this pink. And then we've got, this is a different dandelion dye. This is the one from Tim Holtz in the Wildflower collection. Whereas I believe that big one, I think that is a Timo. That one. Oh, it's definitely looking pretty, isn't it? And then in the pink, I've got, come on, out you come. I've got these. So again, we can get some of these in there. Come on, stick. And where's it gone? See, I'm losing things now. There was a bottom bit to that. Oh, I think it's this. So This would be great as like sort of a grass or something. And also I need to make sure that I'm not sticking it to this ring. So maybe we could have some pink like grass in there. I don't feel like that one is sticking. So I'm just going to stick a bit more glue under there just to make sure. Oh, I think this is gorgeous. I'm so pleased with this. This one, I'm going to put there. And then I'm going to come back to some bright yellow. We'll get that one there. Now you see, I feel like I need more greenery there. So I'm going to split this one. Did save time doing them double like this, but of course it's not saving me time now, is it? Right. I just feel like we should poke a little bit more green there. So we'll glue the bottom of that and just poke it in. Oh, lovely, lovely, lovely. And then I've got this one, which is a different one in the pink. So if I break off the tail, we can need to get that tail buried under there. Yep. So you get behind there and you get behind there also, like that. That's it. And then I think I want another one of these big ones. So I'm going to poke these out. Obviously I've got no idea what these flowers are supposed to be. Does it really matter? I don't think so. I'm going to pop him on there. And then we just need one more thing there. And I think that is our wreath done. I think he looks super. Super, I think it looks. Look at that. Oh, do we need another one of them spiky ones? Those, that bright yellow, this one. Poke these little bits out. And we're going to have him. Oh, should we go that way? Yes, let's go that way. So, that one is going to go there. What do you think about that? Do we need a bit more greenery over it? No, let's have a look. Open up our page. It's easy to find this week because it's right next to the red bow. Right. Obviously I'm going to keep turning it around until I work out. That looks more of an oval that way. That way looks that way looks pretty perfect. I think we'll have that one off there, and then that's pretty perfect. That's going to sit there like that, and that's going to be my beautiful wreath. But I need to cover up that white piece, which is the CD flap from last week. So I'm just going to cover that up like that, and then that is kind of, as it were, hang my wreath. Yeah, okay. So put some glue on the back of this. This is just a piece of eco dyed watercolor paper. It's got a fantastic feel to it. Whoops, it's also got a tear in it apparently. And I don't know if you can hear, I can hear the rain. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue the brown ring, because I don't want any of those greens or flowers sticking down. Oh my goodness, that's really coming down. I believe it was there. Yes. So there you go. There is number 15, Wreath. But we've got a Wildflower one. And I'm deliberately not going to stick any of them. They get a little bit bashed, opening and shutting it. Well, that's what's going to happen. So I'm just going to pick all my die cuts up, because obviously they'll live to work another day, as it were. I'll just get them out the way. And the second one, number 16, was gold. So, because I was so excited about doing my wreath, I haven't thought a lot about this. But one thing that I did think, which might be quite nice, is I've got the background of this like dictionary. So I thought, I've got these stencils. Now that is a pretty lovely stencil. So what I'm going to do, now I don't know if this is going to work. Famous last words, but let's see. Is if I put that there like that, and I take some glue and I put the glue in my palette. See, it's really all oops, Jenga. It's all happening here. 1 second, I'll be back. Okay, what I was saying was, if I put some glue in my palette, like so, and I take a stiff stencil type brush, and I just stencil glue basically. This may be a complete disaster and we might have to find some paper. No, I think I can see that. And then here, I've got some gold leaf. So if we then lay that down, it's a nightmare stuff. I don't know if I've told you this story, but years ago I used to do craft classes for children, and we used to do gold leafing, and one of the funniest things ever, right, I can't see any glue there or there. One of the funniest things ever was when one of the little boys decided he was going to gold leaf his nostrils. Right, now it's a bit of a nightmare, this stuff. It does take on a mind of its own, and it does fly everywhere, but let's see what we can do. So I've got a very soft watercolour brush, and as you can see, I am now rubbing the gold leaf away. Oh, and don't blow, because I've just blown, and of course you saw it's like glitter, this stuff. It just goes absolutely everywhere. It's all on the previous page, look, but then that page is going to close on it, so that will happen. And you do need to brush away a little bit and just keep going until, look, you can see stencils coming through now. The areas where the glue was not will start to brush away. So my gold is gold leaf through that stencil. Right, I'm going to stop there because I've now got about 5 hours de-gold leaf in my desk. And it will be here for days and days. You can see it's on nearly every page of the book now. It's all on that side. Right. So, stand my book up for a minute over there. Try and get rid of this. That's got all that gold leaf on, which of course is now just fallen off all over the floor. And just bring that back so that you can see. There you go. So there's my gold. It'll just be a pattern on the page. And there's my wreath. So I hope you've had joy and inspiration watching me today. As always, thank you for being here. I'll see you very soon. Ta-ta for now.